All right, my name is Daisy Reyes, and I have the pleasure of being today's host. Thank you so much for being here. Our next panel is called Building Brands with Purpose. Often we want to know what does it take to build a brand that truly sees its customer. And so today, I want you to join me. Joining us is Black Girl Vitamins executive Jennifer Juma and Bask Lather founder Shina founder. She's like, we're gonna have a candid conversation on creating products rooted in intention, community, and culture. From formulation to founding stories, this panel pulls back the curtains on what it really means to build a brand for us, by us. So please, a round of applause, and let's welcome Jennifer Juma, Shayna Ranford, and Akili King to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, Essence Festival, BeautyCon stage. How are we? Let's get some energy. Looking good, looking good. Not too tired from Cardi B last night. I am. That was fun. That was amazing. How are we feeling today, ladies?
Good, good.
I'm so good. I'm just excited for this panel all about building beauty brands with purpose. And I feel the two of you embody that so beautifully. So I would love to get into it. So, starting off, tell me about where each of you are from and how your upbringing shaped your individual approaches to beauty.
Yes. So my name is Shayna Rainford. I'm the founder and CEO of Bask Lather Co. And I am born and raised in the Bronx. I was a teen mom. I have my 18-year-old here in the crowd. And now I have one of the fastest growing companies in the country. And it's all thanks to building something very intentional for people that look just like me and doing it with lots of passion and love. And that really can be replicated.
Absolutely. I love it. Amazing. And Jennifer, what about you?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jennifer Juma with Black Girl Vitamins. I actually was born and raised in Nigeria, but I moved to the US 20 years ago. So I have that experience of coming here as a teenager to away from my family to start a new life in college. So I think that definitely built that resilience in me and independence very early on. And I have a background in business. I worked in finance and consulting. So I think all of those merged together, coming also from a family that my mom works, but she had multiple side hustles. I think that helped, that combination helped build sort of like who I am today as a business professional.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. And so, Shayna, your journey with Baskin Lather comes from a pretty personal place, right? It started off with helping your sister grow her hair. How does this personal story sort of shape the way you approach the brand in general and your customer relationship as well?
Yes. So Baskin Lather started because my younger sister Aaliyah lost all of her hair. She had a really bad ringworm that initially just looked like dandruff on her scalp. And my mom took her to doctors and they treated her with dandruff shampoos. And by the time she got a proper diagnosis of ringworm, her hair was falling out in chunks straight from the scalp just by touching it. And she was completely bald. And I remember she had to wear a cap to school, my mom being so worried that kids would like tease her, bother her. When the infection cleared, her hair still it wasn't growing back. And my mom took her to dermatologists and trichologists, and they said they weren't sure that her hair would ever grow back. So she became really desperate and did research about natural ingredients for hair growth, and she whipped up a concoction, which became our scalp stimulator oil. And then she whipped up another concoction, which became our hair elixir to make her hair thicker and retain length. And Aaliyah's hair grew from bald all the way down to waist length. Yeah.
Wow,
And then
incredible.
during the pandemic, I was working as a nurse practitioner. I acquired COVID, became so sick that I ended up in the back of an ambulance begging God to let me live. And when I recovered, my hair started to shed and break, and nobody knew that COVID hair was a thing at that time. And I was like, Mom, I really don't know what to do. Like, I don't know. Protein is not working, moisture is not working. Like, I'm not sure what to do. So I used the same two oils, and my hair recovered better than ever. And I actually went natural at that time. I had a perm on my life, and I lost so much hair. It was like a natural big chop.
Wow, No,
Yeah.
and your hair is so gorgeous. So that's an incredible story. I actually didn't realize about COVID hair loss either. So that's really important. Just post COVID era health issues are so real. And speaking of health gaps and health disparities, Black women face so many daily, as we know. And for you, Jennifer, working in the wellness space, why was that important for you to even start Black Girl Vitamins, especially with that context as well?
Yeah, so the team started Black Girl Vitamins because one of our founders had a vitamin D deficiency and realized majority of Black women are vitamin D deficient as well, and it was impacting our energy levels, our stress levels, even hair loss too can be happen as a result of vitamin D deficiency, and so that sort of was the genesis of it all. And then realizing there were so many other gaps that existed, whether it came to like being 3 times more likely to be anemic, right? That's an iron deficiency, how menopause affects Black women more severely and for longer. So there were so many of those gaps that could be addressed through supplements and vitamins. And so that's sort of like what drove us to start the brand, but also keep formulating products that are addressing new issues. This year alone, we've launched 10 new products. So we're very bullish on making sure every issue and concern that exists for Black women, we are able to help bridge that gap through the vitamins and supplements that we formulate and launch to market, and also some of our other initiatives, including the fact that we have 3 Black women physicians on our medical advisory team to support not only our formulations and the products we make, but also our social media content. They do webinars every month for different topics, from fibroids to PCOS to hair loss to aging, to make sure that at every stage of Black women's lives, Black Girl Vitamins is not just providing vitamins, but we are providing health education and resources that helps empower Black women when they're in the doctor's office, when they're navigating the medical system, and it's helping sort of close some of the inequity gaps or the inequities that exist. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wonderful. And for both of you, we always hear marketing terms and things like for us, by us, which we love. But beyond marketing, why is it so important for each of you to build brands that truly sees the customer and not just spewing marketing jargon towards them? What does that mean to you and why is that important?
Yeah, I think for me, it's important because a lot of like Bask Lather was not started because I had a great career as a nurse practitioner. I was very happy and satisfied, and I'd always dreamed of going into healthcare, and I did just that. So for me, it wasn't, oh, I want to start a company and make a whole bunch of money. It was, honestly, there's no amount of money you could pay me for my own JD because it's crazy. It's a lot of weight to carry. But there's companies where you sell things to people, and then there's companies where you make and sell things for people. And there's a lot of passion that goes into every single product, every single decision we make every day. And honestly, there's a lot of times we make all the time really where we make decisions that's really for the customer. Even it's like it's customers before profit and margin. We're only going to put the best for our community to the market, even if no one else will.
So for us, we actually partner with our customers and our audience when we are formulating products. And how do we do this? It's not just like what the research tells us the inequities are, but we survey our customers every quarter. I'm creating a survey for thousands of women to fill out and tell us what their pain points are and the problems they have. And then we've brought people throughout the years of our brand to our office, or before we had an office, rent a space to talk to them and have focus groups to really understand what their issues are. We've even had taste testing as well for people to taste the different formulations to give their input. And so we are partnering with our customers throughout the process to make sure we are actually meeting their needs. We're not just marketing to them, but we are creating a product that is what they want and what they need and what works for them, for us.
Amazing. And yes, and staying with you here, Jennifer, I'm curious what challenges did you face in the formulation process and how did you overcome those challenges?
Yeah. So with formulation, because Black women, we realize we have unique issues, right, that affect us. And I'll give an example with iron. We're 3 times more likely to be anemic, and part of it is because some of the conventional iron supplements in the market we don't absorb very well. So when we're formulating, we have to think about what are the highest quality ingredients that absorb very well that Black women can absorb because of our different uniqueness, right? And so that is a challenge in making sure we are not just creating an iron supplement or creating supplements, but we're getting the highest quality versions of those ingredients that are efficacious and work very well for us. And so that's one challenge, and we've really tried to overcome that.
Absolutely. I love it. And Shayna, you've managed to scale such an incredible brand. How have you sort of balanced the integrity of scaling, but also staying true to your ethos and your original formulas and things like that? What does that balance look like for you?
Yes. So one of the things that I learned very early on in business, right beyond our first two products, as I developed more and more, is that if there's any entrepreneurs out here, make sure you own your formulas. Okay. You can use manufacturers and co-manufacturers to produce. You should own your formulas. You create them, you get with a formulator, you decide everything that goes into it, what you don't want in it, and then you can do technology transfers to manufacturers to produce for you. That's one of the main ways we maintain integrity is we own every single formula. I have felt, I can smell a product from 6 feet away and I know exactly which one it is. I could dip my finger in it and know the exact viscosity, right? And all ingredients are not created equal, right? Even if it has the same name. So, really, really just monitoring the integrity of your products and making sure that you own your own formulas.
Yes, absolutely. And similar to what I asked Jennifer, I'm curious what were some challenges you'd faced along your. I'm like, oh, what's going on over there? Party. Um, but what are some challenges you may have faced during your journey, and how did you overcome those as well?
Supply chain. So from 2024 to 2025, we grew 5x. And then from 2024 to this year, we've grown 1,400%. And we quickly had to pivot and expand our supply chain again while maintaining the integrity of the products. But one of the blessings of growing and scaling is that now you use your business and the size of it as leverage. And while you're scaling, you reduce your costs while still maintaining the integrity of the products. But supply chain definitely was one of the biggest things.
Yes, absolutely. And then the beauty and wellness industries have a history of treating Black consumers as an afterthought. How do you sort of break this industry norm through your brands and what you stand for, and why is this important as well?
So we're literally called Black Girl Vitamins. So in our industry, we are the wellness vitamin supplement brand that is putting Black women first at the forefront, at the center. Everything starts with our demographic, Black women. And so that's how we are sort of being the standout in the industry. That's basically putting us first, right? A lot of other brands maybe see us as an afterthought because they think, oh, Black women are just 13, 14% of the population. They're so small. Why would anyone be thinking about Black women? But for us, we're called Black Girl Vitamins. So that is where it starts.
Yes, I love that.
And for us, our products are made with knowing again who our customer is. What does their hair look like? What are the problems that we have, right? Because we have a tighter coil or curl pattern. When we need protein, when we need moisture, like all of those things are in mind with formulation, and it's because we are the target consumer. We're able to produce things knowing those pain points and how to solve them.
Absolutely. Yes. And then, I think of you both as incredible founders, but what's something maybe not so glamorous that people don't understand about a founder journey that you think budding entrepreneurs should take into consideration?
Things that people don't understand about a founder's journey. So, again, if there's any entrepreneurs out in the crowd, I'm just like, this year we have this big, beautiful Lux black and gold booth that was also made with lots of love. But 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, we were at events with a 6 foot table and a 6 foot tablecloth. And we all pray to grow and scale. And there will truly be times when you miss those times. Those are the good old days when you get to make mistakes and it's not a big mistake. You get to have fun and be scrappy, work side by side with people that truly care and love and treat your brand like it's their own. So truly enjoy the journey, take in the moments, and don't always look to what's next. Enjoy what you have now, because one day you'll miss it, like high school.
Right. Definitely. Yes. Stay present. Yeah. And what about for you?
Yeah, from the point of view of a leader at their brand is being able to wear multiple hats, right? So right after this, I'm gonna wear a uniform and be a POS, giving out samples, doing that. We'll probably take off products from boxes and put them on the shelf, right? Go back to the office, surveying customers, doing research, right? So it's being able to be scrappy and wear multiple hats, right? And figuring out also when to delegate and ask for help accordingly as well. But I think that sometimes people think the journey of building a brand is just like one dimensional, but there are multiple aspects to it, and being able to flex all that is required and then know when to ask for help, but be humble enough too that even as the brand is growing bigger, to be able to also do the quote unquote like less glamorous things in the business.
Yes, absolutely. Wearing many hats, definitely. So key. And then Jennifer as well. In my opinion, I feel like the fact that Black women have had a long mistrust with the medical system is understandable. But curious through your wellness brand, how are you sort of working to dismantle that or bridge the gap really between wellness, health, and the system and Black women?
Yes. So some of our initiatives as a brand, one is our scholarship program. So we have $100,000 fund. We committed about a year and a half that goes to Black women in medical fields. Right. We're actually awarding two checks today, later at our booth. Shameless plug. So that's one way is we want to build the next generation and build that pipeline of Black female medical providers so that it can help increase that trust. If there are more of us in hospitals and more of us in the healthcare space, I think that will help improve trust, right? I mentioned we have medical advisors as well. Also at our booth, shameless plug, ask Dr. BGV. They're also helping doing that with the webinars, with the education, with the resources they're providing on our newsletter, on our social media platforms as well. Those are some of the ways. And we also bring them on the road with us where we can, so our customers are able to have that interaction. And some of the feedback we've received is even on webinars, somebody would comment and say, I've never been able to have this amount of FaceTime with a Black female doctor where I live. And so we're very proud that as a brand, we're able to do that. Again, we're not just a vitamin brand, we are a health and wellness brand that's bridging the gap and helping by giving people access to Black female practitioners, but also building the pipeline for future Black medical practitioners as well.
I love it. Incredible. Yes. Giving back to the next generation. Wonderful. And then for both of you, obviously we're here at Essence Fest, which is, this big celebration of Black joy, even economic power, etc. And a great time to just reflect on what legacy you want to leave with your brands. So with that, what would you like each of your brand legacies to be that you would want to share with us today?
Yes. I think that one of the very unique and special and important things about Bask and Lather is we have good products, we have great products, great consumer base, but we've scaled our company well beyond a point where many people can without we have no investors and we're a debt-free company. And that means that all of the equity of the brand is black ownership. I'm the sole owner, and that is up until last year. Like I always stayed in the background, never would get on a panel or speak. But I think it's so important for people to know that a Black girl that comes from the Bronx, raised by a single mom, that was a teen mom herself, can reach these heights, and so can they.
Yes, absolutely. Very proud of you too. Look at you now on the stage. Amazing. And what about you, Jennifer?
Yeah, for us, the legacy of Vitamins is rooted in our mission, which is improving health outcomes for Black women. And so we want to be a brand that helps make Black women healthier, right? I'm even thinking about Essence because you mentioned Essence Fest. Our booth from this year to last year has tripled in size, but the lines tripled as well. And so it's not about the business growing. For me, I view it about more people want to learn about vitamins. They want to learn about supplements. They want to get health advice. They want to be healthier. And so I think that's the legacy we want to leave as a brand, that we weren't just a business that was successful, but we actually helped Black women become healthier more productive overall.
So wonderful. You both do an incredible job. Yes, clap it up. Amazing. And you both do such a wonderful job of pouring into your communities. But that makes me want to turn it back to you two. How do you pour into yourselves, or what are some non negotiables that keep you fueled and going and grounded, especially with your busy schedules? What does that look like?
I would like to sit up here and tell you balance and all. No, there's none. I have a 1 year old, an 8 year old, an 18-year old, super busy. Travel. The one thing I will not do is miss a meal, and that I'm fine with that.
That's good. That's very important.
For me, how I stay not working 24/7, I have a garden, a community garden plot, so I grow vegetables. So it's a fun outlet for me for my mental health, but I also get to grow fresh vegetables, and I take my vitamins, I take my collagen for my knees, so I can, get gardening.